Welcome to Sleep, a place where every gentle sound guides you toward peace, and every moment helps you drift into deep, restful sleep. I'm so glad you've joined me tonight. Dear listener, take a moment to settle where you are. Let your shoulders sink, let your jaw loosen. Feel the surface beneath you, holding your weight without asking anything in return. Notice the quiet around you, or the gentle background sounds that are already there. A fan humming, air moving softly, the faint rhythm of your own breathing. There is nowhere else you need to be right now. Allow your eyes to rest, whether they are open or closed. Let the day step a little farther away. Thoughts can drift past like clouds that do not need chasing. You are safe here, comfortable and unhurried. With every breath out, imagine the body softening, as if the edges of you are gently blurring into rest. Our story today begins at a place that exists slightly outside of time, a place where nothing urgent has ever happened, and nothing urgent ever will. Our story today sets sail at the most boring hotel in the world. The building stands quietly on a calm street, neither impressive nor forgettable. Its bricks are a sensible color. Its windows are clean, not sparkling, just clean enough. A small sign hangs above the door, steady and confident, gently swaying when the breeze passes through. The breeze is polite here. It never rushes. Inside the lobby, the air is warm and even. There is a faint scent of polished wood and old paper. The floor does not creak, but if it did, it would apologize. A clock ticks on the wall, not loudly, not softly, just enough to remind everyone that time is behaving as expected. Kenneth stands behind the front desk. He always stands the same way, feet evenly placed, hands resting lightly on the surface in front of him. His suit is pressed, his name tag is straight. In front of him sits a ledger, thick and neatly labeled. Inside it are records of things that happened exactly as planned. This evening, something almost happened. The lobby plant, a tall, leafy thing in a sensible ceramic pot, waits by the window. It has been watered every day at precisely 4 o'clock for as long as anyone can remember. Today, however, the watering occurs at 4 o'clock. Kenneth notices. He does not gasp. He does not frown. He simply glances at the clock, then at the plant. He takes a pen from his pocket, opens the ledger, and writes a short note in tidy handwriting. 5 minutes late, he underlines it once, gently. The plant does not react. Its leaves remain calm and green. The soil absorbs the water without opinion. The window beside it shows a slow rain tapping softly against the glass, each drop arriving without urgency. Order returns to the room, as it always does. Somewhere above, an elevator moves through the building. Inside it stands a guest. The guest presses the button for the lobby. There is a pause. The elevator hums reassuringly. After a moment of thought, the guest presses the button again, just in case. Nothing changes. The elevator continues its descent at the same steady pace. The light above the button remains lit, patient and unbothered. The guest exhales, comforted by the predictability of it all. The doors open. The guest steps out. The second press is forgotten forever. In the breakfast room, the next morning, the toaster does its quiet work. Bread rises, warmed and browned. On one particular slice, the color is slightly deeper than usual. Just slightly. Paula notices. She stands behind the counter, posture perfect, expression neutral. One eyebrow lifts. Not both, never both. Margarine is applied, with smooth precision. The toast is deemed acceptable. Balance is restored. The plate is set down. No one mentions it again. These are the great events of the hotel. Small, gentle ripples that fade almost as soon as they appear. Nothing goes wrong. Things merely drift a fraction out of place and are guided back with care. As you listen, allow your breathing to slow. Inhale through the nose, calm and easy. Exhale through the mouth, releasing the weight of the day. You might imagine yourself walking into this hotel, your footsteps quiet on the carpet. The lighting is soft. The world outside was held at a respectful distance. If these quiet tales are helping you drift off, a gentle like or a silent subscribe would mean the world. It helps this sleepy corner of the internet reach others who need a little calm too. I always wonder, where in the world are you listening from right now? If you're still awake, leave a whisper of a comment, maybe your city and the time on your clock. It's a beautiful thing, this quiet little global gathering, all connected through stories and stillness. Now, let's set the mood, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum and get comfortable. Now that you are settled, let the story continue, flowing easily around you. Imagine yourself as a guest here. You have checked in without complication. Angela greeted you with 3 words, clear and sufficient. Your key rests comfortably in your hand. The hallway stretches ahead, long and evenly lit. The carpet absorbs sound, encouraging quiet steps. As you walk, you notice the walls. They are decorated with framed prints of landscapes that feel familiar even if you have never seen them before. A calm lake, a gentle hill, a path that curves out of sight but never promises adventure. Your room waits for you, already prepared. Inside, the air is just the right temperature. The bed is made with precise corners. The lamp casts a soft circle of light. Outside the window, rain continues its steady pattern, tapping in a rhythm that does not demand attention. You sit on the bed. It supports you without complaint. Somewhere in the building, Victor fixes something that was only barely broken. A hinge that whispered instead of closing fully. A bulb that flickered once and then behaved. He does his work silently, efficiently, leaving no trace but the absence of the problem. Downstairs, Christy prepares dinner. Soup warms gently on the stove. A sandwich is assembled with care. Pudding waits patiently, knowing its moment will come. The menu does not change. It does not need to. Time passes here in a different way. It does not rush forward. It settles. Each minute arrives. As you lie back, notice how your body feels heavier, more relaxed. Your breathing finds its own slow rhythm. Thoughts may still appear, but they drift like leaves on a quiet pond, touching the surface and moving on. The hotel continues through the night. The clock ticks. The rain softens. The lobby light dims slightly, but not too much. Kenneth closes the ledger, satisfied. Everything is accounted for. Nothing exciting happens. And that is exactly how it should be. Dear listener, welcome back into the quiet. If you drifted even a little just now, that is perfectly fine. If you are still awake, that is perfectly fine too. Here, in the most boring hotel in the world, there is no pressure to sleep. Rest arrives on its own schedule, and it is always right on time. Our story continues as the evening deepens, the kind of evening that does not announce itself. It simply becomes a little darker, a little softer around the edges. In the lobby, the clock continues its steady work. Tick, pause, tick. Each sound lands gently. like a pebble placed carefully on a table. The chairs remain exactly where they were earlier, angled politely toward one another, never too close, never too far apart. A magazine rests on the side table, open to the same page it has been open to all week. No one minds. Kenneth performs his final walkthrough of the night. He adjusts nothing that does not need adjusting. The lamp is already straight. A brochure is already aligned. Still, he checks. There is comfort in confirming that everything remains as expected. He pauses near the window. Outside, the rain has slowed. The street reflects the soft glow from the hotel lights, creating long, calm shapes on the pavement. A breeze passes through, moving the leaves of the small tree near the entrance. The leaves rustle quietly, as if whispering to each other about nothing in particular. Kenneth nods once, satisfied. Upstairs, guests settle into their rooms. One guest smooths the bedspread twice, even though it was already smooth. Another aligns their shoes perfectly beside the door, toes pointing forward, heels touching the wall. Someone else opens the window just a fraction, enough to let in cool air and the faint scent of rain. The building seems to exhale. In one room, a guest sits in an armchair near the window, listening to the rain. They are not thinking about tomorrow. Tomorrow will come when it is ready. For now, there is only the sound of water and the steady hum of the hotel around them. The elevator makes one last trip for the evening. It rises, it descends, its doors open and close with the same gentle sigh they always have. It rests, content, waiting for morning. In the kitchen, Christy finishes wiping the counters. Each surface shines softly under the lights. The dishes are stacked neatly. The stove is off. Everything has been returned to its place. She checks the menu board, even though it never changes. Soup, sandwich, pudding. She nods. It is enough. Victor passes through the hallway one final time. His footsteps are so quiet they are almost imagined. He checks a door hinge, gives it a small, approving push, and moves on. The hotel does not thank him, but it appreciates him all the same. At the front desk, Angela prepares for the night shift. She places the keys in their exact spots. She straightens the guest log. She practices her 3 words silently, just to be sure they remain ready. They always are. In the breakfast room, the tables wait. Chairs are tucked in evenly. The toaster sits quietly, innocent of any wrongdoing. Paula will arrive in the morning. The toast will rise when it is ready. The day will begin without fuss. As you listen, notice how your body feels now. Perhaps your hands are warmer. Perhaps your breathing is slower. There is no need to change anything. Simply notice. Imagine yourself walking down one of the hotel's long hallways. The carpet muffles your steps. The walls seem to lean inward slightly, not closing in, just offering quiet companionship. Each door you pass holds someone resting, or thinking, or already asleep. Your room door waits for you. You open it softly. Inside, the bed invites you without excitement. The sheets are cool and smooth. You sit, then lie back, letting the mattress support every part of you. Outside your window, the rain has nearly stopped. A few drops still fall, spaced far apart now. Plink, pause, plink. The sound is almost rhythmic, like a slow lullaby. Downstairs, the clock continues. Tick, pause, tick. Nothing interrupts the night. Nothing demands attention. Even thoughts seem to slow, lining up politely, waiting their turn, then deciding not to speak at all. The hotel has seen nights like this before. Thousands of them. Each one is calm, each one uneventful, each one gently carrying its guests toward rest. As your eyelids grow heavier, imagine the hotel wrapping around you like a soft blanket, not tight, not heavy, just a present, holding the quiet in place. Kenneth locks the front door. He checks it once, then once more. The lobby lights dim slightly. The plant rests by the window, content. It will be watered tomorrow, right on time. The elevator sleeps. The vending machine hums quietly, its lights steady, its buttons unbruised. The rain stops completely. The street outside grows still. Inside, the most boring hotel in the world continues doing what it does best, providing calm, preserving routine, letting the world slow down. Your breathing matches the rhythm of the place now, slow, even easy. There is nothing you need to remember, nothing you need to prepare for. Morning will come later. For now, there is only this moment, stretching gently, allowing you to rest. If sleep comes, let it. If it does not yet, that is fine too. The story will keep you company, moving softly, never rushing. Dear listener, let us drift a little deeper now into the gentle rhythm of the people who keep this place exactly as it is. In the most boring hotel in the world, everyone has a role, and each role is carried out with quiet devotion. There is comfort in knowing that nothing here is accidental. Everything is done on purpose, slowly, calmly. Our story continues by resting its attention on Kenneth, the meticulous manager. Kenneth keeps a binder. The binder is thick, sturdy, and carefully labeled on the spine in neat black lettering. It reads, "Things that went exactly as expected." The pages inside are filled, not with excitement, but with reassurance. Each entry is brief, check-in completely, lights functioning, no complaints, no surprises. At the end of every day, Kenneth opens the binder and flips through a few pages, not because he needs to, but because it brings him peace. The sound of paper turning is soft and even. It reminds him that the world, at least within these walls, remains in order. Sometimes, late at night, Kenneth stands alone in the lobby and practices smiling in the mirror behind the front desk. The smile is polite, professional, gentle. He adjusts it slightly, then lets it fade. Guests rarely require it. This is a place where words are minimal and expressions are optional. Still, he practices, just in case. What Kenneth enjoys most, though he would never mention it, is the sound of a stapler, the clean click, the finality of it. Papers brought together, permanently and without fuss. Occasionally, when no one is around, he staples documents that do not strictly need stapling, just once, for the sound. Nearby stands Angela, ready for check-in. Angela believes in efficiency. She also believes in consistency. Her check-in process has been reduced to 3 words, carefully chosen and never altered. Good evening, welcome, 3rd floor left. Enjoy your stay. She delivers them calmly, evenly, as though they were part of a well-rehearsed song. Guests receive their keys and nod, instinctively understanding that nothing more is required. Some guests try to ask questions about breakfast, about parking, about the weather. Angela listens patiently, then responds with the same 3 words, rearranged if necessary. Welcome, 3rd floor, enjoy. The guests thank her and move on, feeling oddly satisfied. Angela has never felt the need to say more. The hotel fills in the rest. In the breakfast room, Paula arrives before anyone else. She surveys the space without making a sound. The tables are straight. Paula's eyebrows do most of the work. When the toast pops up and is acceptable, one eyebrow lifts. That is all. When jam needs replenishing, both eyebrows rise briefly, like a signal only the room itself understands. When everything is perfect, her face remains completely still. No one has ever heard Paula speak. Some believe she hums quietly while preparing the food. Others think she communicates entirely through facial expression. No one feels the need to confirm. Breakfast arrives exactly as it should. In the kitchen, Christy prepares for lunch. Christy serves 3 dishes, always 3. Soup, sandwich, pudding. The soup is warm and comforting, with no unexpected ingredients. The sandwich is cut diagonally, because that is the proper way. The pudding is a gentle shade best described as polite beige. Once, long ago, a guest asked for a 4th option. Christy paused. She blinked slowly, once, twice. The guest immediately apologized and ordered the soup. Christy smiled. The menu remained unchanged. As the day moves on, Victor appears. No one sees him arrive. He simply becomes present when something is already half fixed. A loose handle that somehow tightens itself the moment he touches it. A flickering light that steadies as he stands beneath it. Victor carries his tools in a small, well-worn bag. Each tool has its place. As he walks down the hall, they make soft, soothing clinks, a sound that blends perfectly with the quiet of the hotel. He leaves before anyone can thank him. By the time someone notices the problem is gone, Victor is already elsewhere or nowhere at all. There is a rumor that Victor once spoke. No one remembers what he said. There is no proof. The hotel does not require it. Together, these people form the steady heartbeat of the most boring hotel in the world, each one doing their part. Each one is content in routine. As you listen, let your thoughts slow even further. Imagine yourself sitting quietly in the lobby, watching this gentle dance of ordinary moments. The clock ticks. The lights glow softly. The air feels still and safe. You do not need to follow every detail. You can let the words wash over you like warm water, like a breeze through leaves. The hotel continues, calm, predictable, perfectly dull. Dear listener, let us stay right here in the softness a little longer. There is no rush. The night has plenty of space for you. Our story continues by turning its attention outward to the guests who pass through the most boring hotel in the world, each leaving behind nothing but the faintest impression, like footprints that fade almost as soon as they appear. There is a guest who arrives every Tuesday evening at precisely the same time. He carries the same small suitcase and wears the same quiet coat. At check-in, Angela offers her 3 words. He nods, always. He takes the elevator to the 3rd floor and walks to the same room at the end of the hall. Inside that room, he sits in the chair by the window and opens a book. It is always the same book. He turns to the same page. He reads the same paragraph. When he finishes, he closes the book and sets it down. Satisfied. No one knows why he never turns the page. No one wonders for long. Another guest carefully unpacks her suitcase as soon as she arrives. She places each item in alphabetical order inside the drawers, belts, blouses, socks, sweaters. When she is done, she stands back and looks at her work, breathing a little easier. In the morning, she will pack everything away again in the same order. This comforts her. Down the hall, a couple whispers, even when they are alone. Their voices never rise above the softest murmur. They sit side by side on the bed, sharing a cup of tea from the room's small kettle. Steam curls upward, slow and gentle, disappearing into the air. They do not speak much. They do not need to. There is a guest who sets an alarm for 7 o'clock every morning. Every morning, he wakes at 6:58 and turns it off before it rings. This makes him feel prepared. The alarm never sounds. The room remains peaceful. The hotel holds all of these routines without comment. It absorbs them into its walls, its carpets, its quiet corners. As night deepens, the sounds soften even more. Footsteps grow fewer. Doors close with careful hands. The elevator rests, lights dimmed, content to wait. In the lobby, Kenneth sits behind the desk, reviewing his binder one final time. He traces a finger down the page, reading the neat entries. Everything went exactly as expected. He closes the binder gently, aligning it perfectly with the edge of the desk. He listens for a moment. The clock, the faint hum of the building. Somewhere far away, a car passes, its sound muted by distance and rain-dampened streets. Kenneth breathes out slowly. This is his favorite part of the night. Upstairs, you are in your room. Perhaps you are lying on the bed now, the covers pulled up just enough to feel warm but not heavy. The lamp casts a soft glow across the ceiling. Shadows rest quietly in the corners. Outside the window, a gentle breeze moves through the trees. Leaves rustle softly, a sound that feels like a whisper meant just for you. If you listen closely, you might imagine a distant crackle from a hearth somewhere, steady and reassuring, even if there is no fire at all. Your breathing slows further. In, out, each breath feels deeper than the last. Your body sinks into the mattress, fully supported. Thoughts may still drift through your mind. That is all right. You do not need to follow them. Let them pass, like guests in the hallway, quiet and brief. The hotel continues to do what it has always done. It holds space. It keeps time. It ensures that nothing unexpected interrupts the calm. Paula's breakfast room waits patiently for morning. The toaster stands ready. Jam jars are full. Everything is prepared. Christy's kitchen rests, clean and orderly. The menu board remains unchanged. Victor's tools are lined up neatly in their bag. He will appear again when needed, or when not needed. It hardly matters. Angela sits at the front desk, posture perfect, words ready should someone arrive late in the night. She does not fidget. She does not sigh. She simply is. And you, dear listener, are allowed to simply be as well. There is nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to decide. Sleep is not a task. It is something that happens gently when the body feels safe enough to let go. If your eyes close now, let them close. If they remain open, let them rest. Either way, you are doing exactly what you should be doing. The most boring hotel in the world settles into its deepest quiet, the kind of quiet that feels full rather than empty, full of routine, full of calm. Dear listener, let us continue drifting through the quiet halls where the guests themselves are as gentle and unassuming as the hotel that holds them. Here, no one arrives with drama. No one leaves with urgency. Each person brings only the smallest habits, the kind that settle in softly and never ask to be explained. Our story rests now with the guests, beautifully unremarkable, each one carrying a routine that never grows into anything more. There is a man who stays every Tuesday, always Tuesday. He arrives at the same hour, his footsteps measured, his expression calm. He checks in, he rides the elevator, he walks to his room. Inside, he sits in the same chair and opens the same book. He turns to the same page. The spine creaks just slightly, exactly as it always does. He reads the same words, slowly, carefully, as though they might change if he rushes. They never do. When he reaches the end of the page, he closes the book and places it on the table beside him. That is enough reading for the day. He feels complete. In another room, a woman kneels beside her open suitcase. Every evening, she alphabetizes its contents. Shirts in one stack, socks in another, each item placed in perfect order. She does not do this because she must. She does it because it feels right. When she finishes, she zips the suitcase closed, then opens it again just to look. The neatness soothes her. She closes it once more and rests, knowing that everything is exactly where it belongs. Down the hall, a couple sits together on the edge of the bed. They whisper to each other, even though there is no one else in the room. Their words are soft and indistinct, blending with the hum of the building. Sometimes they whisper about the day. Sometimes they whisper about nothing at all. Between them, there is a calm understanding. They do not need to speak louder to be heard. In a room near the end of the corridor, someone sets an alarm for 7 o'clock every night before bed. The clock's display glows faintly in the dark. 7:00. Satisfied, they lie down. Every morning, without fail, they wake at 6:58. They reach out and turn the alarm off before it can sound. This small victory makes them smile. The room remains quiet. The morning begins gently. These guests do not share their stories. They do not explain their habits. The hotel does not ask. The mystery here is not intriguing. It is simply unnecessary. Each guest is allowed to be exactly as they are, without growth, without change, without expectation. As you listen, imagine yourself as one of them. Perhaps you are the reader, content with a single page, or the organizer, soothed by order, or the quiet whisperer, or the early riser, or simply someone resting in a comfortable room, listening to the night. The hallway lights remain dim. The carpet remains soft. The walls hold every sound and return nothing. Your breathing is slow now. Your body feels heavy in the best way, supported, safe. The most boring hotel in the world continues its work, gathering these small routines and tucking them gently into the night. There is nothing more to know, nothing more to explain, and that, too, is comforting. Dear listener, let us keep moving softly, as though our footsteps are padded by the thick carpet of the hotel itself. Nothing here startles, nothing interrupts. The calm has learned how to stretch. Our story now turns its attention to the building because, in the most boring hotel in the world, the hotel itself is quietly involved in everything. It does not demand notice, but it does shape the way time moves, the way thoughts slow, the way bodies rest. The hallways are long, but not confusing. They never rush you. Each one curves just enough to feel gentle, never sharp. The lighting is warm and steady. Bulbs chosen not to flicker, not to buzz, not to surprise. Even the shadows seem intentional, resting calmly in corners, never jumping out. The carpet beneath your feet absorbs not only sound, but urgency. People do not hurry here. Running would feel out of place, like raising your voice in a library that has never known noise. Doors close with a quiet, cushioned sound, as though they are exhaling. Handles are smooth from years of polite use. Each room number is fixed securely to the wall, straight and dependable, never crooked, never loose. The air vents release warmth evenly. No sudden blasts, no cold surprises, just a steady flow of air that keeps the rooms comfortable without drawing attention to itself. Somewhere deep in the building, a system hums quietly, content to do its job. In the lobby, the vending machine glows softly. Its buttons beep when pressed, but even the beep is restrained, brief, almost apologetic. Inside, snacks sit patiently, never rattling, never falling unexpectedly. Coins drop with a muted clink, landing exactly where they should. Outside, the night continues its calm work. A breeze moves through the trees again, rustling leaves in a slow, thoughtful rhythm. You might imagine the sound drifting through an open window, mixing with the distant hum of the hotel, creating a layered hush that wraps around you. Somewhere, a fireplace crackles in another building, or perhaps only in your imagination. The sound fits here. It belongs. A steady crackle, a gentle warmth, nothing dramatic. Inside your room, everything remains as you left it. The chair waits. The lamp glows. The bed holds its shape, ready to receive you fully. If you shift slightly, the sheets respond with a soft whisper of fabric. Your breathing continues to slow, in, out. Each breath feels deeper, heavier, more complete. Muscles loosen without instruction. The forehead smooths. The space behind the eyes grows quiet. The hotel clock ticks on tick, pause, tick. It does not count down to anything. It simply marks time passing calmly, reliably. Kenneth, now finished with his final checks, sits for a moment longer behind the desk. He listens. He enjoys this stretch of time when the hotel belongs only to itself and its sleeping guests. He straightens one brochure that has shifted by a fraction of an inch. He nods. Perfect. Angela remains at her post, ready but unneeded. Her 3 words rest quietly in her mind, unused, like tools laid out neatly and left untouched. Victor's presence is felt only in the absence of small problems. A door closes smoothly. A light remains steady. That is enough. In the breakfast room, everything waits for morning without anticipation. The toaster does not worry about toast. The tables do not worry about guests. They know their roles. And you, dear listener, are allowed to rest just as fully. You do not need to follow the story closely now. You can let the words soften, blur, fade at the edges. They will keep moving, even if you drift. If sleep comes, it will arrive quietly, without announcement. If it has already arrived, then the hotel will continue without you noticing, just as it always does. The most boring hotel in the world remains steady through the night, holding every routine, every small habit, every calm breath. Our story drifts now into the deepest part of the night, that peaceful stretch when even time seems to slow its pace. The hotel feels heavier in a comforting way, like a blanket that has finally settled just right. Somewhere on the 2nd floor, a radiator clicks softly. Not a problem, just the sound of warmth moving through metal, adjusting itself, then going still again. The sound fades, leaving behind a sense of reassurance. The building is taking care of itself. A guest turns over in their sleep. The mattress responds with a muted sigh. The moment passes. Sleep continues, uninterrupted. In the stairwell, a single light remains on, casting a warm glow across the steps. No one is using the stairs right now. They are simply there, ready, patient, content to wait. The handrail is smooth and cool, polished by years of light touches. Outside, clouds move slowly across the sky. They are in no hurry. The moon appears briefly, then slips behind another cloud like it is practicing taking turns. The street remains quiet. No horns, no raised voices, just the occasional distant sound that never quite reaches the hotel. Inside, the walls seem to listen, not out of curiosity, but out of habit. They have heard it all before. Footsteps, whispers, sighs. They know how to hold the sound gently and then let it go. In one room, the man who reads the same page every Tuesday is already asleep. The book rests on the table, exactly where he placed it. Tomorrow, or perhaps next Tuesday, he will read the same words again. The page does not mind waiting. In another room, the alphabetized suitcase sits neatly closed. Its owner sleeps more deeply, knowing everything inside is still in perfect order. Nothing has shifted, nothing ever does. The whispering couple has fallen silent now. Their breaths are slow and matched, rising and falling together. The room holds their quiet without comment. The alarm clock in the corner remains dark and still. It will be set again tomorrow night. It will be turned off again before it rings. This routine brings comfort in its certainty. Downstairs, Kenneth finally stands and turns off the lobby lamp, leaving only a softer light glowing near the desk. The clock continues its work. Tick, pause, tick. He takes one last look around, not because he expects anything to be wrong, but because he enjoys seeing everything right. He locks the binder away. He straightens his jacket. He allows himself one small, private smile. It is barely noticeable. It does not need to be. Angela remains calm and still, eyes soft, posture perfect. If someone were to arrive right now, she would be ready. They never do. That is fine. Victor is nowhere to be seen, which means everything is working as it should. The vending machine hums, a steady, low sound that blends into the background, almost like white noise. Its lights glow gently, not bright enough to draw attention, just bright enough to exist. As you listen, your body may feel pleasantly heavy now, limbs relaxed, breathing slow and deep. You may notice the space between thoughts growing wider, like pauses stretching out, becoming more comfortable. You do not need to imagine anything new. You can stay right here, in this hotel, at this moment. Let the words pass over you without effort. The most boring hotel in the world holds steady through the night, doing exactly what it has always done, keeping things calm, keeping things predictable, keeping things kind. If sleep takes you now, let it. If you are hovering on the edge, that is okay too. The story will continue, quietly, patiently, until you no longer need it. We can keep drifting together, deeper into the stillness, following the uneventful hours until morning arrives gently, without surprise. Our story now rests with the hotel as a character, not a loud one, not a dramatic one, a careful character, a considerate one. From the moment you step inside, the hotel begins its quiet work. The carpets are the first to greet you. They are thick, soft, and deliberately unremarkable in color, not bright enough to energize, not dark enough to demand attention. They have been chosen for their ability to absorb ambition. Footsteps sink slightly into them, discouraging speed. Even if you wanted to rush, the carpet would gently suggest otherwise. Running here would feel strange, not forbidden, just unnecessary. The carpet would not resist you. It would simply make each step feel heavier, slower, calmer, until you naturally chose to walk instead. The hallways extend patiently in both directions. They are not narrow, but they are not wide either. They do not invite gatherings. They do not encourage lingering conversations. They guide you forward at an easy pace, guiding you toward rest without ever saying a word. The walls are painted in tones that have never caused excitement, colors that exist quietly, colors that do not inspire urgency. If you try to remember the exact shade later, you will struggle. That is intentional. Lighting in the hallways is even and kind. No harsh brightness, no dim corners that make the mind wander. The lights are placed just far enough apart to create a steady rhythm as you walk. Step, light, step, light. It becomes almost meditative. The doors are another part of the hotel's careful design. Each one is solid, but not heavy. When you close a door, it does not slam, it sighs. A soft, padded sound that feels like the room settling into itself. Even if you close it a little too firmly, the door absorbs the motion and quiets it. Handles are smooth and cool to the touch. They never stick. They are never surprised. Turning a handle feels reassuringly familiar, as if your hand has done this many times before, even if it has not. Inside the rooms, furniture is placed with intention. Nothing blocks movement. Nothing invites rearranging. Chairs are positioned where people naturally want to sit. Lamps are exactly where your hand expects them to be when you reach out in the dark. The bed, of course, is the centerpiece. It does not boast. It does not promise luxury. It offers reliability. The mattress supports without resistance. The sheets are smooth, cool, and quiet. They do not rustle loudly. They whisper softly when you move, as if encouraging you to settle again. The hotel windows are another quiet triumph. They do not rattle in the wind. They do not whistle. They allow outside sounds to enter only in softened form. Rain tapping becomes a gentle rhythm. Wind moving through leaves becomes a distant hush. The outside world is present but filtered, made polite. Even the rain seems to understand the rules here. It does not pound. It does not surprise. It falls evenly, steadily, as though it has been instructed to behave. Drop after drop, evenly spaced, each one landing without urgency. The vending machine in the lobby is perhaps the clearest example of the hotel's personality. It stands against the wall, lights glowing softly. When a button is pressed, it responds with a beep, not loud, not sharp, a small, apologetic sound, as if to say, sorry for the interruption. Items inside the machine sit neatly in their spirals. They do not tumble unexpectedly. When something is selected, it turns slowly, carefully, allowing the snack to drop without drama. The machine hums afterward, a low, steady sound that blends back into the background. Even the elevator has learned restraint. It does not jolt. It does not rush. It glides from floor to floor with a gentle hum. The doors open and close with a controlled breath, never rushing the moment. Inside, the lighting is soft. The buttons glow faintly. Pressing one feels deliberate and calm. The hotel actively prevents excitement, not by forbidding it, but by making it unnecessary. There is nothing here to react to, nothing that demands a response. In the lobby, chairs are placed at comfortable distances, close enough for quiet conversation, far enough apart to preserve personal space. Sitting down feels natural. Standing up feels unhurried. The front desk itself is smooth and uncluttered. No piles of papers, no jangling keys. Everything has a place, and everything stays there. The surface absorbs sound. Even placing something down feels softer here. The clock on the wall continues its steady ticking. It does not tick loudly. It does not attempt to dominate the room. It simply marks time passing, 1 second at a time, without judgment. At night, when most guests are asleep, the hotel feels like it is breathing, a gentle expansion and contraction. Warm air moving quietly through vents, floors settling, pipes adjusting. None of it is alarming. All of it is familiar. The stairwells remain softly lit. The steps are wide and shallow, discouraging hurried movement. Handrails are smooth and warm, comfortable beneath the palm. Even if someone were to walk quickly, the stairs would gently slow them down. Outside, the building stands solid and calm. Its exterior lights glow steadily, not flickering, not flashing. The sign remains still, readable, unexcited. Inside, the hotel remembers every routine that has ever passed through it. It remembers footsteps. It remembers whispers. It remembers sighs of relief when guests lie down after a long day. It holds these memories quietly, without replaying them. As you imagine this place, notice how your own body responds. Perhaps your shoulders drop a little more. Perhaps your jaw loosens further. Perhaps your breathing deepens without effort. You are not required to imagine every detail. You can let the idea of the hotel exist as a whole, a calm presence surrounding you. The hotel does not ask anything of you. It does not expect productivity. It does not encourage reflection. It simply offers stillness. Even time feels different here. Minutes stretch gently. Seconds soften. There is no countdown, no schedule pressing in. Morning will come eventually, but the hotel does not hurry it along. It allows the night to unfold fully, evenly, like the rain. As you lie there listening, or half listening, the hotel continues its quiet work, preventing excitement, absorbing tension, encouraging rest. If your thoughts wander, that is fine. The hotel will catch them and set them down gently. If your eyes close, that is fine. The hotel will continue whether you are awake or not. You are safe here, held by routine, supported by predictability, wrapped in the most unremarkable calm. We can remain here together, resting inside this steady place, letting the night carry you further into sleep. Dear listener, settle in a little deeper now. Allow your body to soften further, your arms and legs heavy, your chest rising and falling with the quiet rhythm of your breath. Let your mind drift lightly, like a feather carried on the gentlest breeze, as we wander once more through the most boring hotel in the world, to discover its final, delightful secret, the running gags that never pay off. In this hotel, humor does not shout. It does not demand attention. It does not race toward a punchline or a twist. Here, it exists quietly, patiently, like a soft joke that never quite needs to be explained, a wisp of amusement that brushes against the mind and then drifts away, leaving nothing but a smile that doesn't disturb the calm. Take, for example, the notice board in the lobby. It is perfectly ordinary, standing against the wall like a sentinel of stillness. Its frame is polished, the corners neatly rounded, and the surface always straight. Guests glance at it occasionally as they pass, but few read every word. And why would they? The words never change. On the topmost row, in soft black lettering, one sheet reads, "Please read notices." Beneath it, another sheet declares, "Nothing new to report." And below that, in the same gentle script, "Remember, nothing happens here." Years have passed, and these notices have remained unchanged. They do not fade, they do not tear, and they do not invite commentary. A guest might smile faintly at the phrasing. Perhaps a guest might glance at the same notice 5 days in a row and find comfort in its predictability. The notices do not demand laughter. They do not require engagement. They simply exist, quietly, like the calm hum of the hotel itself. And yet, there is something profoundly satisfying about it. There is reassurance in the repetition, a gentle rhythm that tells the mind it is okay. Nothing new is necessary. Everything is already arranged. The world outside may be unpredictable, full of noise and unexpected turns. But here, these notices are steady, reliable, and serene. Nearby, the hotel clock ticks with a perfect, measured beat. Tick, pause, tick. Its hands sweep across the face without hesitation or falter. Kenneth has checked it hundreds of times, though he need not. It has never once required fixing. Guests glance at it, sometimes even unconsciously, and feel a subtle, calm wash over them. Time, here, is not pressing. Time is not a task to be completed or a deadline to meet. Time simply moves forward, gently, without urgency, without drama, without interruption. Even the sound of the tick is designed to soothe rather than startle. It is not sharp. It is not intrusive. It is a background companion, a steady metronome to accompany your thoughts or your lack of thoughts. If sleep is already beginning to take you, you might imagine it echoing softly down the hallway, bouncing gently off walls, carpeting and furniture, settling in corners, curling around you like a slow, protective blanket. And then there is the suggestion box, a fixture near the front desk that embodies the hotel's very philosophy. Its slot is polished, the lid hinges smooth, and its presence is oddly reassuring. Guests occasionally slide notes inside, perhaps a small observation, a polite request, or even a fleeting thought. Yet, whenever anyone opens it, the contents are always the same. No suggestions. Sometimes, a note will fold itself precisely in half, sometimes slightly askew. Regardless, it still reads, "No suggestions." No one feels the need to alter it. No one expects it to contain wisdom or warnings. And this, dear listener, is precisely the point. The box exists as a quiet affirmation that there is no problem here that requires fixing. There is no tension, no excitement, no sudden twist waiting to emerge. Even curiosity itself can relax, knowing the outcome is always known, always gentle, always calm. You may begin to notice a smile forming on your lips, small and unspoken. It is soft, fleeting, like a whisper. That is enough. The hotel does not insist on amusement or engagement. It simply allows the mind to recognize the pattern, notice it, and then release it back into the calm. The lobby, in its entirety, embodies this philosophy. Chairs sit patiently, spaced comfortably apart. The carpet absorbs every small sound. The lighting glows evenly, without flicker or glare. Even the air seems to have been measured for consistency, flowing steadily through vents, without rush, without change. Every element conspires to prevent abruptness, to smooth the edges of thought, and to slow the body down, one gentle moment at a time. As you listen, perhaps your own body follows suit. Shoulders drop slightly further, jaw relaxes, the chest expands and contracts with deeper ease. Even the mind, often restless, begins to accept the notion that no surprises await here. There is no need to plan. There is no need to worry. There is only this quiet, steady presence that invites you to rest. Now imagine walking slowly toward the notice board. Your steps sink lightly into the carpet, each one softened and unhurried. Your hand hovers over the polished frame. You read the notices again. Please read notices. Nothing new to report. Remember, nothing happens here. And as your eyes linger, you feel a warmth, subtle but insistent, in the knowledge that nothing has changed. Nothing will change, and that is perfectly fine. You take a breath. Tick, pause, tick. The clock continues, its calm marking of time. A soft smile of contentment might curve across your face. You do not need to act on it. You do not need to explain it. The hotel allows you this small pleasure in the rhythm of the ordinary. From the lobby, you can hear the faintest sounds of life elsewhere in the building. A door closes with a sigh. A chair shifts slightly in the breakfast room. The toaster hums quietly in anticipation of morning. Rain taps against the windows, even and unhurried, softening the world outside without disturbing the quiet within. These sounds are gentle, consistent, predictable. You can notice them or not. The hotel is patient either way. Even the smallest gestures take on a subtle charm. A guest might glance at the vending machine. Its soft glow welcomes them. A button is pressed. A polite beep responds. A snack slowly emerges, never tumbling, never clattering. There is no rush, no surprise, no drama, only calm order. If your eyes are closed now, let them remain so. If your body is already heavy with rest, allow yourself to sink further. The notice board, the clock, the suggestion box, they are here. They are steady. They are predictable. And you, dear listener, are part of this quiet network of order and calm. Consider the humor in these small running gags. They never escalate. They never lead to a climax. The joke is not in a punchline. The joke is in knowing that there is no punchline. You might imagine a guest approaching the suggestion box with some fleeting inspiration, only to find no suggestions. You might imagine a visitor glancing at the clock, expecting it to have run fast or slow, or stopped entirely, and discovering instead that it ticks on perfectly and reliably. You might imagine reading the notice board and expecting new words, and finding the exact same phrasing that has existed for years. And in each case, a small, private chuckle might rise in your mind, just enough to warm you without disturbing your calm. And as you notice this, as your mind registers these patterns, the hotel itself seems to breathe along with you. Walls absorb, floors soften, lights glow evenly, doors sigh with contentment. Every detail aligns in gentle harmony. The world outside may roar and clash, but inside, here, the most boring hotel in the world holds its quiet dominion. You may imagine yourself walking the hallways slowly, footsteps absorbed by plush carpet, hallway lights casting soft halos on the walls, the gentle hum of air, the even tap of rain against windows, and the faint, comforting tick of the clock. All of it blends into a lullaby for your mind and body. And now, dear listener, allow yourself to rest completely. Let the comfort of repetition, of unchanging patterns, of small running gags that never demand attention seep into you. There is nothing to anticipate, nothing to solve. No punchline awaits. The world is calm, and you are held within it. Notice the warmth of the blankets, the softness of the pillow, the steady rhythm of your breath. Let the idea of the notice board, the perfect clock, the suggestion box, and the soft laughter of unfulfilled gags drift in your mind, a gentle melody of predictability. Let it weave a slow, even cadence through your body, relaxing every muscle, quieting every thought. You are part of this world now, a guest among many, moving at the pace of the hotel itself. Tick, pause, tick, no surprises, only calm, only steady, unhurried rhythm, only sleep, approaching gently without effort. And so, dear listener, allow yourself to drift, held by these unchanging patterns, by the predictability that comforts rather than bores. Sleep is arriving slowly, inevitably, gently. Your body and mind surrender. You are safe, steady, and deeply, perfectly at rest. The most boring hotel in the world watches over you. The notices remain unchanged. The clock ticks on. The suggestion box is empty and complete. And somewhere, perhaps deep in the night, a small smile lingers, unspoken, in the knowledge that here nothing goes wrong, nothing escalates, and everything is exactly as it should be. You rise from the bed with the kind of gentle, unhurried motion that the hotel seems to encourage. Your feet sink slightly into the soft carpet as you take a few slow steps toward the desk. You notice the lamp sitting there, its smooth, matte surface cool under your fingertips. You twist the knob softly, listening to the faint click as the light changes just a little. Not too bright, not too dim, just right. On the desk, there's a small stack of hotel stationery, plain paper, crisp and smooth, a small envelope waiting patiently beside it. You pick up a sheet, running your fingers along the edges, feeling the subtle texture. Writing something seems unnecessary here. Even holding the paper is enough to slow your thoughts. You set it back down carefully, the paper making a quiet whisper as it settles. Next, you wander toward the small closet. The door opens with a soft creak. Inside, you find an assortment of hangers, each identical, each perfectly aligned. You run your hand along them slowly, imagining the quiet possibilities of hanging a coat or a sweater. There's a subtle satisfaction in such ordinary order, a rhythm that soothes your mind. The bed beckons once more, so you sit down, feeling the sheets cool and smooth against your skin. The pillows feel like gentle clouds, soft yet supportive. You rest your head for a moment, listening closely. There's a faint ticking from the clock, steady and rhythmic. It's almost hypnotic, like a slow drumbeat, urging your mind to unwind. You notice a small nightstand beside the bed. On it, there's a plain glass of water and a small notepad. The water is perfectly still, catching the soft light from the lamp. You lift it slowly, bringing it to your lips, feeling the cool liquid slide quietly down your throat. Each sip is soothing, a simple ritual, entirely mundane, entirely relaxing. Then you turn your attention to the window. Pulling back the curtains just a fraction, you see the courtyard again. The tree sways lazily, the leaves brushing against one another with a soft rustle. A single bird hops along the path, pausing now and then to look around. There's no rush, there's no drama. Everything moves gently, deliberately, in a pace that mirrors your own slowing heartbeat. From the desk chair, you notice a small drawer. You open it slowly. Inside, nothing is particularly remarkable. A hotel guide folded neatly, a pen, a small pad of sticky notes. You lift the guide, flipping the pages slowly. Each page has calm descriptions. Lobby, a quiet place to rest. Courtyard, a serene spot for gentle reflection. Dining room, breakfast served at your leisure. Even the words themselves feel soft and comforting, written in a tone that whispers rather than commands. You close the drawer and let your hands rest in your lap. The room is quiet, peaceful. You can feel the gentle hum of the air conditioning, the slow rhythm of your own breathing, and the subtle, constant ticking of the clock. Everything is in harmony. There is nothing to demand your attention, nothing to disturb your calm. You lie back on the bed again, letting your body sink fully into the soft mattress. Your limbs feel heavy, relaxed. Your mind drifts lazily from one simple observation to another. The gentle sway of the tree outside, the muted pattern of the carpet, the faint smell of polished wood. Each detail is soothing in its ordinariness. The hotel is quiet, almost drowsy itself. You imagine the walls listening, patient and still. The elevator hums faintly somewhere in the distance, the carpeted corridors stretching endlessly like a soft, slow river. Every sound is muffled, every movement deliberate, every light warm and soft. You close your eyes and imagine walking down the hallway once more. Your feet make soft, muted steps. Each step echoes slightly, then fades into the calm beige surroundings. Room doors line the corridor, closed and waiting. Nothing is urgent here. Nothing demands your attention. You walk slowly, noticing the subtle patterns on the carpet, the gentle warm light reflecting off the walls, the faint scent of polish and quiet that seems to linger in every corner. Somewhere, very far away, a clock chimes softly. You don't startle, you barely even notice. The sound is gentle, distant, and oddly comforting. It reminds you of the passage of time, slow and unhurried. There's no rush, there is only calm, there is only quiet, there is only this perfectly ordinary, perfectly boring hotel. And slowly, imperceptibly, your thoughts begin to drift. Each one feels lighter, slower, more distant. The ordinary sounds, the muted lights, the soft textures, they carry your mind gently toward sleep, like a leaf drifting on a calm river. The next morning, you awaken to a soft, steady light filtering through the curtains. It's not bright, not startling, just the gentle glow of a world that seems to move in slow motion. You stretch languidly, feeling the soft sheets cling briefly to your skin, then release. The room feels familiar, comforting. The bed, the carpet, the gentle hum of the air conditioning, all exactly as you left them. Nothing has changed, and that is exactly what makes it so peaceful. You decide to take a walk, to stretch your legs before breakfast. Pulling on your slippers, you move softly across the carpet, the sound of your steps muted and gentle. You open the door, stepping into the long, quiet hallway. The air is cool, still, unhurried. You notice the faint scent of polished wood mixed with the distant aroma of coffee from somewhere below. Descending the staircase, or perhaps the elevator, you think lazily you arrive at the lobby once more. The receptionist nods to you in quiet acknowledgement, her smile soft and slow. No words are necessary. The hotel has a language of calm that needs no sound. Through the lobby, you find the doorway leading to the courtyard. It is exactly as you remembered, simple, open, and extraordinarily ordinary. A single tree stands in the center, its leaves brushing together with the faintest whisper. A narrow stone path winds gently around it, inviting slow, careful steps. The grass is soft underfoot, and somewhere a bird hops quietly, searching for breakfast. You choose a bench in the shade. It is plain, wooden, slightly cool to the touch. Sitting down, you let your hands rest gently on your lap. The sunlight filters through the leaves in soft, lazy patterns, moving imperceptibly as the tree sways. You notice the faint rustle of leaves, the distant hum of the hotel's quiet machinery, the almost inaudible whisper of air moving past the windows. Every sound is small, deliberate, and soothing. Time here feels different. You glance at a clock somewhere across the courtyard, perhaps in the lobby, and the hands move slowly, predictably. You exhale slowly, noticing the rhythm of your own breathing. In this place, there is nothing to hurry for. Nothing needs immediate attention. Everything unfolds gently, like the slow bloom of a flower or the soft ripple of water. Eventually, your stomach reminds you of breakfast. You rise slowly, walking back through the courtyard and into the hotel. The dining room is quiet, almost reverent in its simplicity. Tables are arranged neatly, chairs pushed in just so. A faint smell of toast and mild coffee hangs in the air, but nothing is overpowering. You find a table near a window. The sunlight streams softly across the polished surface, creating gentle reflections. A server approaches quietly, offering a menu that is remarkably short. Nothing extravagant, nothing shocking, just soft, simple choices: toast, eggs, oatmeal, fruit. Each option seems to exist more to provide comfort than excitement. You choose slowly, deliberately, savoring the small act of decision. Breakfast arrives in the calmest possible manner. The toast is warm, the butter melting slowly, almost lazily. The oatmeal steams softly in its bowl, inviting careful, quiet spoonfuls. You eat slowly, savoring each bite, each flavor, gentle, predictable, comforting. The sounds of utensils against plates are soft, rhythmic, almost musical in their own muted way. Around you, other guests move similarly, slowly, deliberately, unhurried. A soft murmur of conversation drifts across the room, not loud enough to disturb, only enough to remind you that there is life here, quietly unfolding. Even the silverware, the cups, the small napkins, all seem to participate in this serene, deliberate calm. Once breakfast is finished, you rise, leaving a neatly folded napkin on the table. The act of walking back to your room is slow, peaceful. The corridors greet you, familiar and steady. The elevator hums softly, welcoming you back. You press the button for your floor and feel the gentle vibration as it rises. You notice again the carpet, the walls, the soft, warm lighting. Everything, so ordinary, feels like a cocoon, holding you in gentle quiet. Back in your room, you feel the desire to sit by the window again. You pull back the curtains slightly and gaze at the courtyard. Perhaps the bird is still hopping along the path. Perhaps the leaves still sway lazily in the breeze. Time drifts slowly. Your thoughts drift with it. Each sound, each smell, each touch seems magnified in its gentle, ordinary perfection. And slowly, your eyelids grow heavy. Your mind, lulled by the quiet, mundane perfection of the hotel, begins to float. Nothing startles you. Nothing rushes you. The world outside ceases to exist. There is only this hotel, with its beige carpets, soft lights, gentle hums, and perfectly boring calm. Evening settles over the hotel like a soft blanket. Through the window, the sky has softened into muted shades of blue and gray, the light fading slowly, gently. Shadows stretch across the walls of the courtyard, long and lazy, yet never startling. The tree outside sways in the cool evening breeze, its leaves whispering tiny, almost inaudible secrets. Inside your room, the soft yellow lamp casts a gentle glow, creating warm pockets of light across the bedspread and carpet. The hum of the air conditioning continues, steady, unchanging, like a lullaby played in the background of your day. You take a deep, deliberate breath, feeling the rhythm of your own heartbeat slow in response. You decide to wash up before bed. The water in the sink is pleasantly warm, not too hot, not too cold. As you run your hands beneath it, you feel the cool porcelain of the sink under your fingers, the smoothness of the faucet, the gentle rhythm of the water flowing steadily, predictably, calmly. Afterward, you brush your teeth, each stroke slow and deliberate. The bristles against your teeth make a gentle, almost hypnotic sound. You rinse, listening to the soft swish and drip of water into the basin. Every small, ordinary action feels meditative. Here, each movement a step closer to stillness. Back in bed, you pull the sheets up around your shoulders. They are cool, crisp, perfectly ordinary, perfectly comforting. The pillows cradle your head, supporting it just enough without fuss. You lie on your back, staring at the ceiling for a moment, noticing the muted shadows cast by the lamp. Your thoughts are quiet, soft, drifting lazily from one gentle observation to another. Perhaps you hear the faint creak of a door somewhere down the hall, the distant hum of the elevator, or the soft rustle of leaves in the courtyard. Each sound is calm, predictable, almost like a companion whispering, "Relax, you are safe, you are exactly where you belong." You begin to imagine the hotel itself breathing slowly with youth walls, the carpet, the soft chairs, the lamps all exhaling and inhaling in perfect synchrony with your own chest. Each breath becomes longer, softer, deeper. Your eyelids grow heavy, your muscles relax. Your mind drifts like a small boat floating on a still, gentle lake. Outside, the courtyard fades into twilight. The tree is now a quiet silhouette, its leaves barely moving in the soft night air. The bird has gone to rest. The world beyond the hotel seems distant, unimportant. Inside these walls, time itself slows. There is only calm. There is only the ordinary perfection of the hotel. You feel the pull of sleep like a warm, invisible hand. Each thought grows slower, softer, more distant. You let them go, one by one, like balloons floating quietly into the sky. There is nothing to worry about, nothing to anticipate, nothing to chase. There is only this moment, this room, this bed, and this deep, perfect quiet. And slowly, imperceptibly, your consciousness drifts toward sleep. Your body sinks deeper into the mattress, the sheets holding you gently. Your breathing is steady, slow, and effortless. Your mind floats in the calm, undisturbed rhythm of the hotel. In this place, there are no surprises, no alarms, no sudden noises. There is only quiet, there is only calm, there is only sleep. And so, in the most boring hotel in the world, you finally rest. You drift, unhurried, unbothered, untroubled. The ordinary, the mundane, the predictable, all of it works like a lullaby, carrying you safely, softly, into the most perfect, gentle sleep.